And I'm so glad that y'all are here today. And yes, it is my birthday. And I'm working on Older Than the Hills today, or Older Than Dirt. So I'm happy to have you guys here. Today's talk is about the incredible power of not giving a flip. 5 years ago, almost exactly to the day today, my daughter fell off of a horse, landed on her head, sustained a concussion. She messaged me the next day and said, "Hey mom, I just wanted to let you know, I fell off the horse yesterday and I bumped my head, but the EMT cleared me to return to competition. Everything's fine. Don't worry about me. Everything is good." 2 days later, I get a call from the school saying, you know, she's acting a little strangely. Should we take her to the emergency room? And I'm like, well, you know, are there any physical symptoms? How weirdly is she acting? She's really acting super weird. So we're like, let's just keep her observation. And if she's not feeling well, when she gets home, we'll take her to the doctor. And I didn't really want to send her to the hospital for a CT scan because of the radiation. Especially if we didn't think that there were broken bones, because head injuries, concussions don't typically show up on CT scans. Fast forward a week, she gets home. She flies home from Pennsylvania and she is at the curb. She manages to forget her phone and her credit card. And she shows up and she gets in the car. My au pair picks her up. I come home. And I start talking to her and it's like, hey, how are things going? And it's like I was talking to the Mad Hatter. I would ask one thing and I would get a completely unrelated answer. I would get gibberish back. And it was like this alien had taken over my daughter's body, or we were in Alice in Wonderland. I'm not really sure what it was. So we were like, this is the really weirdest thing ever for a concussion, but okay. We ended up deciding to eventually take her to the emergency room, and they run a ton of tests on her. Nothing is conclusive. It's a few days before Christmas. So they discharge her from the hospital with no follow-up, no information, no nothing. Of course, me in mommy mode, I'm with her there 24/7. I care about my kid. I'm doing everything for my kid. I'm on top of everything for her. I'm micromanaging the doctors. I'm trying to get answers. Discharged from the hospital, still trying to get answers, still trying to get follow-ups, go through the holidays, go through Christmas, New Year. And she seems to be getting a little better. So we send her back to school, hoping that maybe the structure would help. 3 days later, I got a call that I needed to come pick her up because she wasn't making any sense. Okay. Little did I know how much my life was going to change. It turned into a whirlwind of 24/7 caregiving, multiple suicide attempts, hospitalization after hospitalization. I had a business, only I was taking care of my daughter 24/7. And when she was discharged from the hospital, apparently stable, she needed to be supervised 24/7. So y'all can probably imagine what that did to my business. And I put my daughter first. I took care of her. I did what I had to do. And everything, every last little bit of energy I had focused around taking care of my daughter and my other children and my husband. And my business suffered. So I ended up deciding ultimately, after I landed in the hospital with suspected cardiac symptoms, that I needed to sell my business and simplify things and contract down and, you know, focus on the kid. And of course, at that point, my husband thinks that she's faking it and that I've gone nuts. And, you know, everything in life starts to unravel financially, mentally, emotionally, health-wise. I gained weight steadily. And a couple of years later, I find myself staring down at the scale and looking at 427 pounds. And I'm like, holy crap. And I wind up in the emergency room for an umbilical hernia in ungodly amounts of pain, with a husband who basically hated me at that point. And, you know, a kid who had been bopping in and out of the hospital. And I realized at that point, I had been putting everybody else's needs in front of my own. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was running my business, but I cared too much about what others thought. I cared too much about what the kids wanted to eat for dinner. I cared too much about what everybody else wanted to do. I would sit in my office and I would eat whatever macaroni and cheese or pizza or whatever else they were eating for dinner that night, because it just didn't matter. I mean, I didn't matter. I really didn't. And when I had that eureka moment and the doctor's like, you're going to have umbilical hernia surgery. And by the way, you need to have weight loss surgery or you're going to die. It was a eureka moment. The you're going to die card kind of tends to wake us up just a little bit. And I slowly but surely got to a place in my head where, you know what? It didn't matter what anybody else wanted or needed. Because if I didn't take care of myself, there wouldn't be a me to take care of them. The you're going to die part is kind of real. I had to, you know, start putting my own health first. I got to the gym. I started exercising. I started working out with a personal trainer. I quit caring what my husband thought or didn't care. It didn't really matter at that point. My whole focus was on getting my daughter safe and stable. And if not stable, at least safe. And I quit caring what the doctors thought. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of the social workers have either thought I was a psycho bitch from hell or that I was the most realistic person they've dealt with. And I was going to make sure that I got results. And I didn't really care what it took to get those results. I realized that I had to get my sleep, I had to walk, I had to exercise, I had to do my weight training, and I had to mind my own food. And in short, I had to put myself first. I changed my calendar so that people could only book appointments with me certain times of the day, because I couldn't give a care anymore that somebody wanted to book with me during meal times. And I had to book lunch, and I had to book my dinner time, and I had to book my exercise time and to go to the gym. Because it didn't matter if clients needed me during those times, not that my clients don't matter, but I wasn't going to be here to serve those clients if I didn't start taking care of myself first. I started booking time to meditate, to pray, to do those things on my calendar. And everything in my world started shifting. And I know a lot of people will say, when you start not giving a fuck or you start putting yourself first, everything shifts, or you start doing less, everything speeds up. But that's exactly what happened for me. As soon as I started focusing on my own physical, spiritual, mental needs, I was able to do so much more for my daughter. I was able to be the head bitch in charge, dealing with the doctors and the social workers, and force my way through a situation and navigate my way through a situation that was virtually impossible to navigate. I was able to lose 175 pounds. I was able to grow my business exponentially, not because I'm working more hours, but rather I'm working fewer and I'm doing it smarter. And I had to quit caring about everybody thinking or caring about whether people think that I'm a nice person or not. I had to do what I had to do to take care of my family, to take care of myself, to protect my kids. And that moment where I heard, "You're going to die," and I had to realize that, you know, I couldn't give a flip about what everybody else cared about or what everybody else wanted, was that one transformative experience for me where I realized that I had to stop caring what everybody else wanted and what everybody wanted me to do, and quit being a people pleaser. Not that I don't try to please people, not that I don't have fun, because obviously we're here today. But I realized that, you know, the word no is a complete sentence. That I have to set boundaries, that I have to watch what I eat, that those things are not optional. Because I keep hearing the words from the doctor in my head, "You're going to die if you don't change. You don't change your behavior." And I realized that it was as much about mindset and actions on my part as anything else. So, you know, I encourage you to be selfish. I encourage you to put yourself first. I encourage you to do the work, which frankly, you're going to be, in Tracy's word, embracing the suck through the process. Bariatric surgery was hard. Being on a liquid diet for months was pretty darn hard. Being that unpopular mother who was driving my daughter's care was pretty hard. Having the social workers tell me that they have never had a patient successfully get the kind of funding that we got because I managed to figure out how to navigate that system, that was pretty hard, because I've had to literally drag the social workers through the entire process as the blind leading the blind. And, you know, rebuilding my relationship with my husband has been hard. Rebuilding my relationship with my other 3 kids, equally hard. Actually, I would say for us, COVID in a way has been a huge gift, because we've gotten to spend 5 months locked away together while the oldest kid has been in the hospital. That's been pretty cool. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy. Nobody ever promised, you know, a walk in the park. Nobody ever promised Shangri-La, you know, that you just kind of meditate on it and it all just magically happens. It's great when that stuff does happen. But when you stop caring what other people think, when you embrace the suck, when you focus on doing what you need to do for you, for yourself, for your family, for your spiritual needs, putting yourself first, miracles happen. Change happens. Happiness starts to happen. Things start to flow in ways that they've never flowed before. I encourage you to put yourself first. Take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, there won't be a you. There won't be a business. How do I know? Well, I almost got to experience there won't be a you, so there won't be a business. And I'm here to be that cautionary tale of, don't do the silly, stupid things I did. And with that, we're going to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. This has been a ton of fun. Thank you. This has been awesome. It's been a great way to spend my birthday and my birthday week. More hobbiting coming from me this week. I hope that you guys will enjoy, and take care of yourselves first. Thank you guys.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Take care, guys, and have a fantastic rest of the week. We'll talk to you soon.